Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a concept that lies at the very heart of our human experience: the importance of being true to ourselves. In a world filled with expectations and pressures, it can be all too easy to lose sight of who we truly are. But embracing our authentic selves is not only essential for our well-being, it's also the foundation for meaningful connections with others. Being true to ourselves starts with understanding and embracing our vulnerabilities. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but it is, in fact, a powerful catalyst for courage. It's the raw, uncomfortable space where we can confront our fears and insecurities. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open the door to genuine connection, creativity, and growth. Embracing vulnerability is a fundamental aspect of being true to ourselves, yet it's often perceived as a weakness. Society frequently teaches us to hide our vulnerabilities and put on a brave face, encouraging us to appear strong, competent, and self-sufficient. However, this view is profoundly misguided. In reality, vulnerability is a powerful catalyst for connection and growth. It is through our vulnerabilities that we can build authentic relationships, cultivate empathy, and foster resilience. To begin with, it's essential to understand what vulnerability truly means. At its core, vulnerability is the willingness to show up and be seen, even when there are no guarantees of a positive outcome. It involves taking emotional risks, whether that means sharing your fears, expressing your needs, or pursuing dreams that may not pan out. When we embrace vulnerability, we acknowledge our humanity, our imperfections, uncertainties, and feelings of inadequacy. This acknowledgement is not about broadcasting our weaknesses to the world. Rather, it's about recognizing that vulnerability is an inherent part of the human experience. One of the most significant barriers to embracing vulnerability is the fear of judgment. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that exposing our true selves will lead to rejection or ridicule. This fear can be paralyzing, causing us to retreat into our shells and hide our authentic selves. Yet, this avoidance only perpetuates feelings of isolation and disconnection. When we refuse to share our vulnerabilities, we miss out on the opportunity to connect with others on a deeper level. This vulnerability invites empathy, understanding, and compassion, qualities that are essential for nurturing meaningful relationships. Consider how vulnerability fosters authentic connections. When we share our struggles and fears with others, we create an environment of trust and openness. This honesty allows others to respond in kind, sharing their own vulnerabilities and experiences. The result is a shared understanding that we are all navigating the complexities of life together. In these moments of connection, we realize that we are not alone in our struggles. We find comfort in the knowledge that others have faced similar challenges. This mutual sharing creates a bond that can withstand the tests of time and adversity. Vulnerability can enhance our relationships by fostering deeper empathy. When we are willing to be vulnerable, we not only allow others to see our authentic selves, but also encourage them to be authentic in return. This exchange cultivates a sense of empathy that can strengthen our connections. When we witness someone else's vulnerability, whether it's a friend sharing their insecurities or a colleague expressing their fears, we are more likely to respond with kindness and understanding. This empathetic response helps us to appreciate the complexities of another's journey, reinforcing the idea that we are all flawed, yet worthy of love and connection. Embracing vulnerability also has profound implications for our personal growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we step outside our comfort zones, challenging ourselves to confront our fears and insecurities. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is also transformative. Each time we take a risk, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, expressing our feelings to a loved one, or pursuing a passion project, we expand our capacity for resilience. We learn to navigate the discomfort of vulnerability, gaining confidence in our ability to face challenges and adapt to new circumstances. Vulnerability fosters creativity and innovation. When we create a culture that values vulnerability, we encourage experimentation and exploration. In environments where people feel safe to share their ideas, even those that might seem imperfect or incomplete, creativity flourishes. This openness allows for collaboration, as individuals feel empowered to contribute their unique perspectives without the fear of judgment. By embracing vulnerability in our creative endeavors, we can unlock new ideas and solutions that might have otherwise remained hidden. It's important to note that embracing vulnerability is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong practice. There will be times when fear and self-doubt creep in, making it tempting to retreat to safety. However, the more we practice vulnerability, the more comfortable we become with it. This journey requires patience and self-compassion as we learn to navigate our fears and insecurities. It's essential to remember that vulnerability is not about perfection, it's about authenticity. It's about showing up as our true selves, even in the face of uncertainty. In embracing vulnerability, we also inspire others to do the same. When we lead by example, we create a ripple effect that encourages those around us to be brave and authentic. Sharing our stories, our struggles, triumphs, and lessons learned invites others to reflect on their own journeys. This collective courage fosters a culture of openness and support, where vulnerability is celebrated rather than shamed. Embracing vulnerability is a profound act of self-acceptance. It involves recognizing that our worth is not contingent upon external validation, but is inherent in our very being. By accepting our vulnerabilities, we honor our true selves and allow our authenticity to shine through. This authenticity not only enhances our relationships, but also enriches our lives, leading to deeper connections, personal growth, and a greater sense of fulfillment. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember that embracing vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a testament to our strength and resilience as human beings. Practicing self-compassion is a vital aspect of being true to ourselves, yet it's often overlooked in our fast-paced, achievement-oriented society. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to excel, to meet high expectations, and to present ourselves as flawless. Amidst this relentless pressure, we can easily become our own harshest critics, leading to feelings of inadequacy, shame, and disconnection. By embracing self-compassion, we can cultivate a kinder, more understanding relationship with ourselves, one that fosters authenticity, resilience, and emotional well-being. At its core, self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a close friend or loved one. It is about recognizing our shared humanity and acknowledging that everyone experiences pain, struggle, and imperfection. Self-compassion consists of three main components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. When we actively practice these components, we create a supportive inner dialogue that encourages us to embrace our true selves. Self-kindness is the first pillar of self-compassion. Instead of berating ourselves for our perceived shortcomings or failures, we should speak to ourselves with warmth and encouragement. Imagine you have a friend who is going through a difficult time. How would you respond? You would likely offer words of comfort and reassurance, reminding them that it's okay to feel vulnerable and that they are deserving of love and support. We must learn to extend this same grace to ourselves. When we stumble or face challenges, we can replace self-criticism with self-affirmation. By acknowledging our feelings and offering ourselves compassion, we create a nurturing internal environment that allows us to heal and grow. The second component, common humanity, is the recognition that suffering and struggle are universal experiences. It's easy to feel isolated in our pain, believing that we are the only ones who struggle with feelings of inadequacy or failure. However, when we remember that everyone faces challenges and experiences hardship, we can cultivate a sense of connection to others. This understanding helps to mitigate feelings of shame and isolation, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. Acknowledging our common humanity encourages us to be more compassionate toward ourselves, as we recognize that our experiences are part of the broader human condition. Mindfulness, the third component of self-compassion, involves being present with our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It encourages us to observe our experiences, both positive and negative, without becoming overwhelmed by them. Mindfulness allows us to acknowledge our pain and suffering without getting caught up in self-criticism or denial. By practicing mindfulness, we can create space for our emotions, allowing us to experience them without becoming consumed by them. This balanced awareness helps us to maintain perspective and fosters a sense of acceptance regarding our imperfections. Incorporating self-compassion into our daily lives can be transformative. It begins with cultivating awareness of our internal dialogue. Many of us may not realize how critical we can be toward ourselves, often repeating negative thoughts and beliefs that undermine our self-worth. By consciously shifting our self-talk to a more compassionate tone, we can gradually reshape our internal narrative. Instead of focusing on our perceived failures, we can emphasize our efforts and progress. This shift not only enhances our self-esteem, but also encourages us to embrace our authenticity, as we recognize that our worth is not contingent on external validation. Self-compassion encourages us to set healthy boundaries. When we are compassionate with ourselves, we become more attuned to our needs and limits. This awareness allows us to prioritize self-care and make choices that honor our well-being. We learn to say no to demands that drain our energy or compromise our values, ultimately creating space for activities and relationships that nurture our true selves. By setting these boundaries, we foster a sense of empowerment that supports our authenticity and allows us to thrive. Practicing self-compassion also equips us to handle challenges and setbacks with resilience. Life is inherently unpredictable, and we will inevitably face obstacles along the way. When we approach these difficulties with self-compassion, we are more likely to bounce back from adversity. Instead of succumbing to self-blame or despair, we can acknowledge our emotions, learn from our experiences, and move forward with renewed strength. This resilience is essential for cultivating a sense of authenticity, as it allows us to remain true to ourselves even in the face of adversity. Self-compassion enhances our relationships with others. When we are compassionate toward ourselves, we are better equipped to extend that same compassion to others. This creates a positive feedback loop. As we nurture our inner selves, we become more empathetic and understanding in our interactions with those around us. We are less likely to project our insecurities onto others or engage in unhealthy comparisons. Instead, we foster an environment where authenticity is celebrated, allowing everyone to show up as their true selves. Engaging in self-compassion practices can take various forms. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness exercises are effective tools for cultivating self-compassion. Writing about our experiences, especially our struggles, can help us process our emotions and gain perspective. Meditation allows us to develop mindfulness and cultivate a sense of inner peace, enabling us to connect with our authentic selves. Additionally, practicing gratitude, acknowledging the positive aspects of our lives, and appreciating our efforts can reinforce a compassionate mindset. Practicing self-compassion is an ongoing journey that requires patience and commitment. It involves challenging ingrained patterns of self-criticism and cultivating a more nurturing internal voice. As we embark on this journey, we may encounter moments of discomfort as we confront our vulnerabilities. However, these moments are essential for our growth and self-discovery. By embracing self-compassion, we honor our true selves and create a supportive foundation for authenticity and connection in our lives. Cultivating courage is essential to being true to ourselves, as it enables us to face fears, express our authentic identities, and pursue our dreams despite the risks involved. Courage is often mischaracterized as the absence of fear, but in reality, it is the ability to act in spite of fear. This understanding is critical, as it allows us to recognize that feeling afraid does not make us weak. Rather, it can be a powerful indicator of the potential for growth and transformation. By embracing courage, we can navigate the complexities of life with resilience and authenticity. At the heart of courage lies the willingness to be vulnerable. Vulnerability and courage are intimately intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. When we are willing to expose our true selves, whether by sharing our feelings, admitting our mistakes, or pursuing our passions, we open ourselves up to the possibility of rejection or failure. However, this very act of stepping into the unknown can lead to profound connections and opportunities. Courage allows us to embrace our vulnerabilities, allowing us to express our authentic selves without fear of judgment. One of the most significant barriers to cultivating courage is the fear of failure. Many of us have been conditioned to view failure as something shameful, an indication that we are not good enough or worthy of success. This mindset can be paralyzing, causing us to avoid taking risks or pursuing our passions altogether. However, reframing our perspective on failure is crucial for fostering courage. Instead of viewing failure as a definitive endpoint, we can recognize it as an integral part of the learning process. Every successful person has experienced setbacks and failures along the way. By embracing the idea that failure is not only acceptable but necessary for growth, we can give ourselves permission to take risks and venture outside our comfort zones. Cultivating courage involves confronting our fears head-on. Fear often thrives in the shadows, growing more formidable when left unexamined. By bringing our fears into the light and acknowledging them, we can demystify their power over us. This process may involve identifying specific fears that hold us back and reflecting on their origins. Understanding why we feel afraid can help us to contextualize those feelings and recognize that they do not have to dictate our actions. For example, if we fear public speaking, we might explore the roots of that fear, perhaps past experiences of judgment or embarrassment. By examining these fears, we can begin to dismantle their hold over us and take incremental steps toward overcoming them. Courage can be cultivated through the practice of self-advocacy. Advocating for ourselves means speaking up for our needs, desires, and values. It requires the courage to express our thoughts and feelings, even when doing so feels uncomfortable. This might involve setting boundaries in relationships, pursuing a career change, or sharing our opinions in a group setting. When we advocate for ourselves, we affirm our worth and reinforce our commitment to living authentically. Each act of self-advocacy strengthens our courage, enabling us to take further risks in the future. Engaging in supportive communities can also play a vital role in cultivating courage. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who encourage us to be brave and authentic can provide the motivation we need to confront our fears. These communities create safe spaces where we can share our struggles and aspirations without judgment. When we witness others taking courageous steps, whether in their personal lives, careers, or creative endeavors, we are inspired to do the same. This collective courage fosters an environment where vulnerability is celebrated and individuals are encouraged to pursue their true selves unapologetically. It is essential to celebrate our courageous actions, no matter how small. Recognizing and appreciating our efforts reinforces our commitment to authenticity and empowers us to continue taking risks. For example, if we muster the courage to share our thoughts in a meeting or take a step toward a long-held dream, we should acknowledge that achievement. Celebrating these moments reminds us of our capacity for courage and encourages us to embrace future opportunities for growth. Practicing mindfulness can also enhance our ability to cultivate courage. Mindfulness encourages us to stay present and observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This awareness can help us recognize the stories we tell ourselves about fear and courage. By approaching our fears with curiosity instead of aversion, we can gain insight into what holds us back. Mindfulness also allows us to connect with our inner strengths and values, helping us to align our actions with our authentic selves. This alignment is crucial for cultivating courage, as it provides us with a clear sense of purpose and direction. The cultivation of courage is not a solitary endeavor. It is essential to seek out mentors, role models, or supportive figures who inspire us to be brave. These individuals can offer guidance, encouragement, and perspective as we navigate our journeys toward authenticity. Their experiences and insights can illuminate our paths and remind us that we are not alone in facing our fears. By learning from their examples, we can draw strength and inspiration as we embark on our own courageous pursuits. Lastly, it is crucial to acknowledge that courage is a continuous practice. Just as we build physical strength through regular exercise, we cultivate courage through consistent effort and dedication. There will be days when we feel empowered and ready to take risks, and other days when fear threatens to hold us back. In these moments, it's important to be gentle with ourselves and recognize that courage can ebb and flow. The key is to remain committed to the practice, understanding that every act of courage, no matter how small, contributes to our growth and authenticity. In essence, cultivating courage is about embracing our vulnerabilities, reframing our relationship with failure, advocating for ourselves, and engaging in supportive communities. By challenging our fears and taking risks, we can uncover our true selves and live authentically. Courage empowers us to confront challenges with resilience and to pursue our passions with unwavering commitment. As we cultivate courage in our lives, we create a path toward deeper connections, greater fulfillment, and a more authentic existence. Fostering genuine connections is a cornerstone of being true to ourselves. As social beings, we thrive on relationships, and the quality of these connections significantly influences our overall well-being. In a world often dominated by superficial interactions and social media facades, it's vital to cultivate deep, meaningful relationships that allow us to express our authentic selves. Genuine connections provide us with support, understanding, and encouragement, creating an environment where we can thrive emotionally and spiritually. To begin, it's important to understand what constitutes a genuine connection. Unlike superficial relationships that may be built on common interests or social obligations, genuine connections are characterized by mutual respect, empathy, and vulnerability. They are founded on trust and a shared understanding that allows individuals to be their true selves without fear of judgment. In these relationships, both parties feel valued and accepted for who they are, leading to a sense of belonging that is essential for emotional health. One of the keys to fostering genuine connections is vulnerability. As previously discussed, vulnerability involves being open about our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with others, we invite them to do the same. This exchange creates an atmosphere of trust, where both individuals feel safe to share their authentic selves. For example, if you open up about a personal struggle or fear, the other person may feel encouraged to share their own experiences, fostering a deeper bond. This mutual vulnerability cultivates empathy, as we begin to understand and appreciate each other's journeys. Empathy is crucial for building genuine connections. It involves the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When we approach our relationships with empathy, we create a space where others feel heard and validated. This is particularly important in a world where many individuals feel isolated or misunderstood. When we take the time to listen and engage with others on an emotional level, we strengthen our connections and deepen our understanding of one another. Active listening, being fully present and attentive during conversations, plays a vital role in demonstrating empathy. It shows others that we value their thoughts and feelings, fostering an environment of mutual respect and authenticity. In addition to vulnerability and empathy, authenticity is paramount in fostering genuine connections. Authenticity means being true to ourselves and expressing our true thoughts, feelings, and values. When we are authentic in our interactions, we encourage others to do the same. This authenticity creates a ripple effect, allowing relationships to flourish based on honesty and openness. However, it's important to recognize that authenticity requires self-awareness. We must take the time to reflect on our values, beliefs, and emotions to understand who we truly are. This self-awareness is the foundation upon which genuine connections can be built. Establishing boundaries is another critical aspect of fostering genuine connections. Healthy relationships require clear and respectful boundaries that honor the needs and feelings of all individuals involved. When we set boundaries, we communicate our limits and ensure that we engage in relationships that are supportive and fulfilling. It's essential to express our needs openly and to respect the boundaries of others. This mutual respect enhances trust and strengthens connections, as it allows individuals to feel safe and valued. Cultivating genuine connections also involves nurturing relationships over time. Meaningful connections require effort, commitment, and ongoing communication. It's essential to invest time and energy in our relationships, whether through regular check-ins, shared experiences, or deep conversations. These moments of connection can significantly enhance our relationships, allowing us to explore each other's thoughts and feelings more profoundly. Additionally, shared experiences, whether through hobbies, travel, or community involvement, create lasting memories and strengthen the bonds between individuals. In today's digital age, it's easy to become disconnected from the people around us. Social media can create the illusion of connection, but it often lacks the depth and authenticity of face-to-face interactions. While online platforms can facilitate connections, it's crucial to prioritize in-person interactions whenever possible. Face-to-face communication fosters a deeper sense of connection, as we can read body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice elements that are often lost in digital communication. Striving for genuine connections means seeking out opportunities for meaningful interactions, whether through social gatherings, group activities, or one-on-one conversations. Another aspect of fostering genuine connections is being open to vulnerability and accepting imperfection in ourselves and others. Nobody is perfect, and everyone has flaws and insecurities. By embracing our imperfections, we create an environment where others feel safe to express their own vulnerabilities. This openness not only strengthens our connections, but also fosters a sense of belonging. When we recognize that we are all imperfect beings navigating life's complexities, we can approach our relationships with compassion and understanding. It's important to recognize that not all connections will be deep or meaningful. Some relationships may remain more superficial, and that's perfectly acceptable. Not every person we encounter needs to become a close friend or confidant. However, being selective about the connections we choose to invest in is crucial. By focusing on quality over quantity, we can cultivate a circle of meaningful relationships that enrich our lives and support our authenticity. Fostering genuine connections requires us to be patient and open-minded. Building deep, meaningful relationships takes time, and it's essential to allow connections to develop naturally. We should approach relationships with curiosity and a willingness to learn about others, understanding that each person has their own unique experiences and perspectives. This openness can lead to unexpected connections and profound relationships that enrich our lives in ways we may not have anticipated. In summary, fostering genuine connections is an essential aspect of being true to ourselves. By embracing vulnerability, empathy, and authenticity, we create an environment where meaningful relationships can flourish. Establishing healthy boundaries and investing time in nurturing these connections strengthens our bonds and enhances our emotional well-being. As we prioritize genuine interactions and remain open to the complexities of relationships, we create a supportive network that allows us to express our true selves and navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. In a world that often prioritizes superficiality, the cultivation of genuine connections offers a path to a more fulfilling and authentic existence. Embracing authenticity is one of the most powerful steps we can take toward being true to ourselves. In a world that often pressures individuals to conform to societal norms, expectations, and external standards, it can be challenging to live authentically. Authenticity involves being true to one's values, beliefs, and desires while also embracing the uniqueness that each person brings to the table. It requires us to look inward, understand who we are, and express that identity in our daily lives, despite the potential for judgment or criticism from others. To embrace authenticity, we must first cultivate self-awareness. Self-awareness involves reflecting on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to understand what drives us. This process often requires asking ourselves difficult questions. What do I truly value? What are my passions? What makes me feel fulfilled? Self-awareness is not just about recognizing our strengths, but also about acknowledging our weaknesses and areas for growth. This deep understanding of ourselves provides the foundation upon which we can build our authentic lives. When we know who we are, we can make choices that align with our true selves rather than succumbing to external pressures. One significant barrier to authenticity is the fear of judgment or rejection. Many individuals feel compelled to present a curated version of themselves to fit in or be accepted by others. This pressure can stem from societal expectations, cultural norms, or personal experiences where conformity was rewarded. However, this fear can be paralyzing and ultimately lead to feelings of disconnection and dissatisfaction. To overcome this fear, we must remember that authenticity is not about being liked by everyone, it's about being true to ourselves. When we embrace our uniqueness and live authentically, we often attract people who resonate with our true selves. This alignment leads to more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Notion can create a crippling sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. Authenticity, however, acknowledges that we are all imperfect beings with flaws and vulnerabilities. By embracing our imperfections, we open ourselves to genuine connection and growth. Instead of striving for an unattainable standard of perfection, we can focus on progress, learning from our experiences, and celebrating our unique qualities. This shift in mindset encourages a more compassionate relationship with ourselves, allowing us to live authentically without the weight of unrealistic expectations. Another essential aspect of embracing authenticity is aligning our actions with our values. Our values serve as guiding principles that shape our decisions and behaviors. When we act in accordance with our values, we create a sense of integrity and congruence in our lives. However, societal pressures can lead us to compromise our values for external validation or acceptance. To live authentically, we must reflect on our values and ensure that our choices align with them. This alignment may involve making difficult decisions or taking bold steps, such as changing careers, ending toxic relationships, or pursuing passions that may not conform to societal expectations. While these choices may be challenging, they ultimately lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and authenticity. Embracing authenticity requires us to be open to feedback and growth. Living authentically does not mean we are immune to criticism or challenges. In fact, it often means confronting discomfort and engaging in constructive conversations about our beliefs and behaviors. By being open to feedback, we can gain valuable insights into ourselves and how we interact with the world. This willingness to learn and grow allows us to refine our understanding of authenticity and adapt to new experiences. It's important to approach feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness, recognizing that it can be an opportunity for personal development. Surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals is crucial for fostering authenticity. When we are in an environment that encourages self-expression and acceptance, we are more likely to embrace our true selves. This support can come from friends, family, mentors, or communities that share similar values. Engaging in authentic relationships allows us to feel safe in expressing our thoughts, feelings, and experiences without fear of judgment. These connections reinforce our commitment to authenticity and provide encouragement as we navigate challenges. Practicing self-compassion is another vital element in the journey toward authenticity. As we strive to live authentically, we may encounter moments of doubt, fear, or failure. In these times, self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding rather than harsh judgment. It reminds us that everyone makes mistakes and that imperfection is a natural part of being human. By embracing self-compassion, we create a supportive internal dialogue that fosters resilience and empowers us to continue pursuing our authentic selves, even when faced with setbacks. Embracing authenticity requires us to take risks and step outside our comfort zones. Authentic living often involves challenging societal norms and embracing what makes us unique. This journey can be intimidating, as it may involve standing out or being different from the crowd. However, taking these risks can lead to profound personal growth and fulfillment. By pushing past our fears and insecurities, we can discover new aspects of ourselves and create a life that resonates with our true identity. Each risk taken is a step toward greater authenticity and self-discovery. Finally, embracing authenticity is a lifelong journey. It is not a destination, but a continuous process of self-exploration, reflection, and growth. As we navigate life's changes and challenges, our understanding of ourselves may evolve. This evolution is a natural part of the human experience and should be embraced as we strive for authenticity. By remaining open to new experiences and perspectives, we can continue to deepen our understanding of ourselves and live in alignment with our values and beliefs. In essence, embracing authenticity is about cultivating self-awareness, letting go of perfection, aligning our actions with our values, and surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals. It requires a commitment to self-compassion, an openness to feedback, and a willingness to take risks. As we navigate this journey, we can create a life that reflects our true selves and fosters deeper connections, fulfillment, and joy. Living authentically is not only a gift to ourselves, but also an inspiration for others to embrace their own uniqueness and authenticity. In a world that often promotes conformity, embracing authenticity allows us to shine our light brightly and contribute meaningfully to the tapestry of human experience. Practicing self-care is an essential component of being true to ourselves. In a world that often prioritizes productivity and external achievements over well-being, self-care can sometimes be relegated to the sidelines. However, it is crucial to understand that self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity for our physical, emotional, and mental health. By prioritizing self-care, we create the space and energy needed to connect with our authentic selves, cultivate resilience, and navigate the complexities of life. Self-care encompasses a wide range of activities and practices that nourish our bodies, minds, and spirits. It can include anything from physical activities like exercise and nutrition to emotional practices such as journaling and mindfulness. The key is to identify what works best for us as individuals, recognizing that self-care is not one size fits all. Each person's self-care routine should reflect their unique needs, preferences, and circumstances. By honoring our individuality, we can create a self-care practice that genuinely supports our well-being. One of the most impactful aspects of self-care is its ability to reduce stress. In our fast-paced lives, stress can accumulate and lead to burnout, anxiety, and a host of physical health issues. Engaging in self-care activities allows us to counteract the effects of stress and recharge our energy. Whether it's taking a walk in nature, practicing yoga, or enjoying a relaxing bath, these activities help us to slow down, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves. When we prioritize self-care, we create a buffer against the demands of daily life, allowing us to approach challenges with a clearer mind and a more centered perspective. Self-care fosters emotional resilience. Life is filled with ups and downs, and practicing self-care equips us with the tools to navigate those fluctuations. For instance, engaging in activities that bring us joy, such as hobbies, creative pursuits, or spending time with loved ones, can enhance our mood and boost our overall well-being. When we nurture our emotional health through self-care, we build resilience, enabling us to bounce back from setbacks and challenges with greater ease. This emotional strength is vital for maintaining authenticity, as it allows us to remain true to ourselves even in difficult circumstances. Another critical element of self-care is setting boundaries. Many individuals struggle with overcommitting themselves, leading to feelings of overwhelm and exhaustion. Learning to say no and establishing clear boundaries is an essential act of self-care. It allows us to protect our time and energy, ensuring that we engage in activities that align with our values and priorities. When we set boundaries, we signal to ourselves and others that our well-being is important. This practice not only empowers us but also fosters respect in our relationships, creating healthier dynamics with those around us. Practicing self-care can enhance our self-esteem and self-worth. When we take the time to care for ourselves, we send a powerful message that we are deserving of love, attention, and care. Engaging in self-care activities reinforces the belief that our well-being is a priority. This self-affirmation can have a ripple effect, influencing how we show up in the world and how we engage with others. When we feel good about ourselves, we are more likely to express our authentic selves and connect with others in meaningful ways. Self-care also involves nourishing our physical health. Our bodies are the vessels through which we experience life, and taking care of our physical well-being is essential for overall health and happiness. This includes prioritizing nutrition, exercise, sleep, and regular health checkups. Engaging in physical activity not only benefits our bodies but also releases endorphins, which improve our mood and reduce stress. Additionally, fueling our bodies with nutritious foods provides the energy we need to engage fully in life. When we prioritize our physical health, we create a solid foundation for our emotional and mental well-being. Mindfulness is another powerful aspect of self-care. Practicing mindfulness involves being present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice can help us cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our emotions. By taking the time to check in with ourselves, we can identify our needs, desires, and areas of discomfort. Mindfulness encourages self-reflection and self-compassion, allowing us to respond to our needs with kindness rather than criticism. This awareness is crucial for living authentically, as it helps us to align our actions with our true selves. Social connections are a vital component of self-care. Nurturing relationships with family, friends, and communities provides us with emotional support and a sense of belonging. Engaging with others in meaningful ways can lift our spirits and foster connections that validate our experiences. It is essential to make time for the people who matter most in our lives and to prioritize quality interactions. These connections serve as a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles, and that there are others who appreciate and support our authentic selves. Incorporating self-care practices into our daily lives can take many forms. For some, this might mean setting aside time for a morning ritual that includes meditation, journaling, or a quiet cup of tea. For others, it might involve taking a walk in nature, practicing a favorite hobby, or engaging in creative activities that inspire joy. The key is to find what resonates with us and to make self-care a priority rather than an afterthought. It's essential to recognize that self-care is not a selfish act. In fact, practicing self-care enables us to show up more fully for others. When we take care of ourselves, we are better equipped to support our loved ones and contribute positively to our communities. By prioritizing our well-being, we cultivate the energy, patience, and compassion needed to engage with others authentically and meaningfully. It is important to remember that self-care is an ongoing journey. Life is dynamic, and our needs may change over time. What works for us in one phase of life may not serve us in another. Regularly reassessing our self-care practices and adapting them to our current circumstances is crucial for maintaining our well-being. This flexibility allows us to respond to our evolving needs and ensures that our self-care routine remains relevant and effective. In essence, practicing self-care is a fundamental aspect of being true to ourselves. It encompasses a range of activities and practices that nourish our physical, emotional, and mental health. By prioritizing self-care, we create the space and energy needed to connect with our authentic selves, cultivate resilience, and navigate life's complexities with grace. In a world that often demands more of us than we can give, self-care serves as a powerful reminder that we deserve to be treated with kindness and compassion, both by ourselves and by others. In conclusion, being true to ourselves requires embracing authenticity, fostering genuine connections, practicing self-care, and cultivating vulnerability. By prioritizing these elements, we create a fulfilling and meaningful life that aligns with our values and desires. Embracing our true selves not only enhances our well-being, but also inspires those around us to do the same, fostering a culture of acceptance and authenticity in a world that often encourages conformity. Ultimately, living authentically allows us to navigate life's challenges with resilience and joy, enriching our experiences and relationships along the way. Thank you